Hey everybody. Today I'm going to go over the top 10 fragrances that I'm most excited to wear through the upcoming spring season. It's not spring where I live at all. I live in the northern part of the United States where we don't get spring yet, but I've been seeing these lists pop up on YouTube by other creators, and so I thought I would go ahead and do mine. I've been wanting to do this just because I'm so excited for spring, quite sick and tired of winter, so here we go. Coming in at number 10, we have Polo Blue Parfum. And these are going to be ranked from my least, not my least favorite, but the ones that as we get further up in the list, I do think I'm going to reach for them more often through the season. So probably my least worn to my most worn through spring. But coming in here at number 10, we have Polo Blue Parfum. This one features notes of mandarin, pink pepper, clary sage, lavender, oak, olibanum, patchouli. That's not all the notes, that's just some of them. And what I get from this one is a very classy blue scent. However, it's not blue in the sense of like an Invictus blue, really. It's much classier than that, not nearly as sweet, more metallic. The orange off the top of this one is just phenomenal. I absolutely love the orange note in this one. I get very little, if any, pink pepper, and as it dries, I definitely get olibanum and a woodiness. I don't know if I would call it oak, but it's that modern blue fragrance woodiness. It's nothing special, but it's just this style of fragrance done perfectly, in my opinion, and I'm very excited to wear this through the spring. Next on the list, we have Commodity Nectar. This one here is a very bright fragrance. This one could easily be worn spring or summer, but the performance I get out of this one is so good that I decided to put it in the spring list instead of the summer list. It just keeps going and going and going on my skin, and it's kind of amazing because it has light, fresh notes. Features pomelo, tangerine, neroli, honeysuckle, orange blossom, musk, and vetiver. In the opening of this one, it is a very classy, bright smell, lots of citruses and neroli. But as it dries, something about it starts to turn to a more dense green smell. I get a green tea, kind of like a jasmine green tea, and I don't know where the jasmine note is coming from. It must be the white florals mixing, but it's kind of that indolic jasmine green tea smell. It just smells exactly like that to me, and that part of it lasts forever and ever on my skin. Now that's not a bad thing. I love my tea, and to smell like that all day, not a bad thing in my opinion. Perfectly unisex. Definitely give this one a try. Next on the list, we have Mancera Oud Blue Notes. This one is very new to my collection. If you notice the juice levels down quite a bit, that's because I bought it secondhand off of a Facebook group. Got it for really cheap. I think I paid $60 shipped for this bottle, which is still way more juice than I'll ever get through. And I've been wanting this one. I did sample it before I bought it just because I'm a little nervous about Manceras. The first time I smelled this one, I was very confused what I was smelling or even if I liked it. However, the more I smelled it, the more addicted I got to the smell. It's very different. You'll stand out in a crowd, that's for sure. It's fresh, yet somehow exotic and smells foreign to me. I don't know what's making that. It doesn't smell like anything you're gonna find in a Macy's or in the United States hardly. You're just not gonna find people that smell like this. It's fresh, it's kind of sweet, it's a little fruity. The notes on this there's too many really to talk about, but it features fruity notes, violet, orris, guaiac wood, leather, amber, some sandalwood. You know, it's just, then that doesn't really give you a representation of how it smells. To me, it smells leathery. I do get leather. I get kind of a almost aquaticness to it. It's definitely fresh yet dense. I would definitely recommend getting a sample of this one just to experience it. It's very unique. It's very niche, yet I find it very wearable and very unisex. Coming in at number 4, we have Boss Oud Aromatic. This one here is very unique as well. It doesn't smell like the Boss line, the Hugo Boss line at all. To me, it's very niche smelling for a designer brand to put out something like this, but it features notes of orange blossom, myrrh, and agarwood or oud. It has this medicinal type of opening that's still fresh somehow. It is kind of green, but not in the herbal way, more in like a floral green way. The myrrh in this definitely adds to its performance and its density. It's just a little intense that I wouldn't want to wear this one in the heat of summer, but spring and fall, it's a great option. So coming into spring here, I'm very excited to get this back into the rotation and wear it. I really enjoy the smell, and I definitely recommend trying this one out if that sounds interesting to you. Coming in at number 5, we have Rojas Loam. This is the aromatic touch flanker, and this one here is interesting to me. It smells very synthetic, very designer, and so that might turn some people off. However, it is very affordable, and I have gotten so many compliments from this one. It seems to really project off my skin and last a good while, and the smell is very different from a lot of the blue fragrances that are coming out now. It does feature notes of apple, olibanum, pineapple, patchouli, geranium, ambroxan, sandalwood, and cedar. What I get from it is almost a coconutty smell, which I don't know where that's coming from besides maybe the patchouli's giving it a creaminess. It's a very synthetic patchouli. It's not that boozy, dirty patchouli at all. Very cleaned up. I don't get much apple either. What I get is an olibanum, cleaned up patchouli, and ambroxan with a little sandalwood. The sandalwood note I think they're using is giving me that coconutty feel. I don't get any pineapple whatsoever, but the smell is unique and it seems to grab people's attention, and I do like it. It's not as good as the next 5 in my book, but it is a very good fragrance. It's very easy to wear, and like I said, lots of compliments, good performance. Next up on the list, we have Indian Sandalwood by Dunhill. This one's a very good sandalwood fragrance, and I think sandalwood shines in the in-between seasons. It's not really potent enough to be a winter scent in a lot of aspects, and it's really not fresh enough to be a high heat summer fragrance. So fall and spring is when these just shine, in my opinion. I'm just seeing this now, but the juice color is almost identical to my tea. Interesting. Anyways, this one here is very creamy. It's very, very heavy on the sandalwood, as you would expect, but if you're after a good sandalwood fragrance, this one's a very good option. You can find these affordable on eBay and discounters, and I think it's just great. It features notes of orris, sandalwood, patchouli, and cypriol, with top notes of carrot and bergamot. I don't get hardly any top notes with this one whatsoever. It goes pretty much straight into the orris sandalwood smell. It's kind of like taking a creamy iris and a creamy sandalwood and mixing those together with just enough other elements to make it a fragrance. But it's very simplistic in its approach, and it wears on you all day long. You'll get this nice creamy trail. It has good performance, and it doesn't project a lot, but it just kind of floats in the air around you, and it smells very elegant, very sophisticated, and very, very, I want to say natural, but not in a essential oil type of way. It just smells kind of organic, like wood. It just smells, you know, not like a cologne or like a fragrance per se, but it's very good, and I would definitely give this one a try. Coming in at number 7, we have the new Yves Saint Laurent Y Eau de Parfum Intense. That's a mouthful. This is a new acquisition for me as well, fairly new to my collection. I bought it at retail from Macy's, which in hindsight I wish I wouldn't have done because it's already on discounters. However, if you guys are interested in it, I think you can find it on Joma Shop. This one is very polarizing in the community. People are hating on it, and a lot of people really like it. I fall on the team of really like it. I understand that it's generic in a way and it's blue, but it is just so easy to wear, and it has very good performance on me. They took the eau de parfum smell and they stripped it of its youthfulness in a sense. They took out the apple note, they dialed down the sweetness, and they just left the aromatics. The top has ginger, which kind of smells like the aldehydes in the Y line. I think they're probably using aldehydes to mimic a ginger note, and they may be using some ginger as well. But what I get is a lot of ginger and a lot of sage with geranium. And as it dries down, they're saying the base notes are vetiver, patchouli, and cedar. However, it definitely dries down to a vetiver smell mixed with a lot of musks. I get a very nice cooling type of musk in the base, and that is my favorite part of this fragrance. The opening and mids are okay, but once it gets to that dry down, I just love it. It seems to keep projecting off my skin really well in the dry down, and It's just a clean, soapy, kind of cooling smell, but with lots of aromatics, and I think it's going to be perfect for the spring. It's got more density than I would probably want to wear in high heat summer. However, it's going to do just fantastic in these transitional months. Coming in at number 8, we have Replica at the Barber's. This one is a very masculine scent. I would not say this is unisex simply because it smells like shaving cream, like a men's shaving cream. I absolutely love this smell. It just smells like a barber shop. It's got a lot of lavender, white musk, oak moss, a little bit of leather, and a little bit of herbs like a basil note with some black pepper up top. But all of that is mixed together so flawlessly that you can't really pick out anything besides, I would say, the lavender kind of comes out a little bit more than the rest, but that really is just this smooth note over everything else. That's why I say it smells like shaving cream, because it is very creamy, but not in a sandalwood type of way or in an iris type of way. It's just so perfectly blended that you just smell like you just got a shave and a haircut. It's just phenomenal. I really, really like this one. Performance, I get really good performance with this one. It surprises me. It's not a very dense smell, but it seems to last on me for a very long time. I get wafts throughout the day. No matter, 6-7 hours in, I'm still getting wafts of this off of myself. So I would recommend trying this one if that sounds interesting to you at all. It is a little bit throwback in the fact that it doesn't smell super modern. It doesn't smell like a blue fragrance or anything like that, but it's got this retro vibe that's done in a modern way, and it's very, very good at doing that. And I really, really am excited to wear this through the spring. And we're up to the last two, number 9 here. This is a new one again in my collection, but I'm very excited to wear it this spring. It's from Aqua Colonia line by 4711. This one here is called Wakening Woods of Scandinavia, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a very green, foresty type of smell, and this one would work, I think, equally in summer or spring, but being that it's so green, I think I'm gonna wear it more in the spring. I like my green fragrances for spring. This one here has notes of bergamot, pink pepper, coriander, rose, fir, olibanum, and patchouli. And those notes wouldn't lead you to believe this, but it definitely has a similarity to Terre de Hermes. It has that kind of dirty, I don't want to say dirty, but that funky orange smell. This one, however, is a little bit sweeter in my opinion, and a little bit greener, which would make sense going by the notes. But imagine if you've ever smelled Terre de Hermes, you know that's a very distinct smell, and this one is like that, just lightened up a little bit, freshened up, a little greener, a little sweeter, and it's very, very nice. This one is, I think, an eau de cologne. However, I wore it a couple of times already, and I get pretty good performance. I do spray it heavy, but it's gonna last me 5-6 hours still, which for a spring fragrance that you can just spray on heavy and go, it's perfectly good for that. It smells very natural, very high quality, so for the price you can get these for, I would definitely check this one out. Okay, we are down to my most anticipated fragrance for the spring. This is the number 1 fragrance that I'm most excited to wear, and it is by Amouage. It is called Enclave. This one is a very, very unique scent, and as soon as I smelled it, I fell in love with it. It's very polarizing. People either seem to like it a lot or absolutely hate it, which is a risky thing to wear if you're not sure about those around you, if they're gonna like it or not. However, I just don't care. I enjoy it so much that I wear it quite often, even through the winter, through the summer, spring, it doesn't matter. However, I think it really shines in the spring. It's so nice. It's got a top note of spicy mint, cardamom, cinnamon, pink pepper, mid notes of olibanum, patchouli, vetiver, and rose, base notes of amber extreme, leather, and labdanum. To explain the smell of this one, a lot of people get a toothpaste smell off the top, which would be the spicy mint. I don't personally get that. It mixes, that spicy mint definitely is there, but it mixes with the cardamom, the cinnamon, and the olibanum from the mids quickly enough that it just is this very dense green smell. It smells to me like the color of the bottle. It's that turquoise, dark turquoise smell, which in spring, I think it's perfect. It's got really, really good performance, as you can expect from Amouage, yet it's a very green smell smell. It's a very minty smell, and as it dries down, it goes more into the ambery direction. It starts very fresh and spicy, and then as it dries down, it gets sweeter and darker and continues down that line. And as it dries, it just gets so addictive. I usually, when I spray this one on, I'll give myself a spray on the back of my hand just so I can enjoy it throughout the day. As it changes, it's a very, very non-linear scent. It starts totally different than where it ends up. So I really appreciate those type of smells, and I would highly recommend sampling this one. Don't blind buy it. It's very expensive, but it's worth the experience just to see if it's your thing like it is mine. But that is my top 10 spring fragrances that I'm most excited to wear. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I felt like there was a good spread of cheapies to very expensive niche and anything in between. So you should be able to find something that piques your interest. Let me know in the comments below what you're most excited to wear, or if you think that I missed one that is just perfect for spring. I'd love to hear your opinion on that. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.